I thought I got an email from Anthony saying that I was still on this. I'm gonna sign off, find the email, forward it to you guys. If I don't find the email, I won't sign back on. Go team. Bye. He says this long-standing link to the land really.
I believe I sent you and Alexis an updated list with their emails and everything, just so you guys know for attendance purposes.
Thank you.
I don't
We're gonna
think I got it.
We're going to give it a couple of more minutes to have people log on because today we are virtual and maybe people are not aware. So let's give it about 4 more minutes. I usually start about 6:35.
Is it just me that keeps getting kicked off?
You're not getting kicked off. I've seen you since I've logged on.
Yeah, no, on my end I am. I'm like, it's shutting down and coming back up. It's kicking me
Oh.
off and coming back up.
You've been constant here as well. I've seen you, so I don't know, maybe it's on your side.
Yeah, Alexa, it's not happening to me.
Did she go?
Thanks.
Alexis, are you still here? Yeah, she is here. I see
Yeah.
her. I see you.
Yeah,
I see
but
you as a
on my
panelist.
end, it keeps. But I think right before this, like 3 times, right, while we were like waiting and everything for 3 different times, it knocked me off and then it turned me back on itself. It was weird.
Could you just unmute me? This is Joy.
Yes, I see you, Joy.
I don't know. I got a message you had unmuted me and I wasn't sure. I won't talk.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey everyone, how's it
Hi,
going?
Daryl.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, I'm only keeping as panelists the board members and those who are slated to present. All others providing us with updates will stay as attendees, and then I'll unmute you when it's your turn to give us some programming update. We're going to start in about a minute.
Okay. Yeah, we want to give an update when it's our turn. This is Joy again.
everybody will get their chance. Since we are virtual, it would be helpful for those of you that are from cultural organizations that you add that to your name so that we can see that. And it will make it easier for the chair to facilitate.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. It is 6:35. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Welcome to Community Board 12, Parks and Cultural Affairs. Welcome, everybody. We have somewhat of an abbreviated agenda of screen clarity. I'm going to keep community board members as panelists, and then Friends of Inwood Hill Park. They are doing a presentation today, so they are panelists. All others, I will enable unmuting. Yeah, Alexis, yeah, I see it now. I see, it could be sort of like maybe your internet probably, perhaps. I did see you rejoining on the list. So just because you're taking minutes, I just want to bring that. So anyway, I was saying that when it is your turn to present programming updates, I will unmute you. Welcome, everybody. We thought that today was going to be deep freezing cold, and I think we finally broke the sub-zero weather. So welcome, everybody. I don't have much to report other than I want to publicly thank my committee for supporting me during the loss of my father. Thank you so much for your support, your comfort, also people in the community who reached out. Thank you so very much. It was very much a very difficult time for me. And I want to thank especially my co-chair, Alexis, for taking the reins and being the champion of this community board committee. So thank you for taking charge while I was out. With that said, of course, thank you, committee. We're going to get started with updates from our partners in the community. Yes. Are you okay, Alexis? Yes. Alexis, I saw you raise your hand.
She's rejoining.
Are you hearing an echo on my end? Can somebody please confirm from the committee if they're hearing an echo? Somebody's
No.
saying that they're hearing an echo on my end, and I don't have any other devices turned on. That usually happens when you join with one or more devices.
I don't hear any echo.
Joanna, I
Thank
feel
you.
a little bit of something that's going on with your voice. It goes in and out a little bit, but now it seems fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Jody. So let's get started. Because we are 100% virtual, and in order to keep things organized, please use the raise hand feature on Zoom so that I can call on you if you have any questions. Well, we have a question from the attendees, but about, let's see. Okay, I'm sorry, panelists. Okay, I didn't mean test the raise your hand. I mean, if you do have a question throughout the meeting, please raise your hand. Alexis, you have your hand. Okay. All right. So there shouldn't be any questions right now because we haven't started. So we're going.
Yeah. No, I have not a
with
question. Wait, no, I gotta say something.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
I'm having a lot of trouble. So I keep getting kicked off. So I'm putting this for the record because we all, as community board, the ones who are members of the community board, we have to have our cameras on. However, since I'm taking minutes and I got to capture a lot of this stuff, I might have to go off camera because I think maybe usually if I'm
Right.
having issues, if I turn my camera off, then I
Right.
can at least hear. So for the record, I will try to put my camera back on as much as possible, but for right now, I'm going to turn it off so I can capture minutes.
Understood. Thank you, Alexis. And I don't think there are no resolutions on the table tonight. And even if we did have a resolution, I would ask you to please come on camera to take a vote. So thank you for that. And I'm sorry you're having connectivity issues. Okay. So let's get started with our community partners with updates in programming. As a kind reminder, you will have 2 minutes to update the community on programming. And I will start, let me just get to my attendees. I will start with, let's start with Julie McCoy. Julie?
Hello, everyone. I'm Julie McCoy, and I am the Commodore of the Inwood Canoe Club. And very brief, my report's actually very brief today. As you know, in the winter months, we don't do a lot of public programs except for our shoreline cleanups. And unfortunately, it was just too cold this past weekend for us to have that. So we will have another one at the beginning of March. It'll be posted on our website, and we hope people come out for that. I want to mention as well, and this might be something you hear from other members of the Human Powered Water community, because of the events that will be happening the first week of July. It's called Sail Forth. It's a very large operation where it's sort of like Fleet Week, but international ships will be here. There are some proposed rules around where any kind of boats can go on certain parts of the water, and we're looking at those and crafting a response to make sure that we can continue having some public programming during that week. So that's all I've got for this month. I'm open to questions, and otherwise, please look for us, the Inwood Canoe Club in New York. You'll find our website.
Thank you, Julie. As a reminder, Alexis has put her email in the chat. We kindly ask that organizations providing reporting updates email Alexis the blurb for programming. It just makes her job a lot easier rather than retyping the blurb all over again, or just trying to manage from the minutes. So that will be greatly appreciated. The next person I have is, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's hear from Joy Hecht.
Thank you. I'm not seeing myself, so I guess you can't see me either, but that's okay. So a couple of updates. First of all, as planned, we have bought a new launch, and a new launch is a motorboat and a motor. We haven't received them yet, but we're real excited about that because that is going to enable us to greatly expand our programming next season. We've also launched a twice weekly winter training, which is new for us. We've actually connected with a high school on the Lower East Side that has 8 rowing machines, and we've just bought a 9th that we're going to add to it. And they're letting us use their facilities for free, which we are absolutely delighted about. And we have repaired their ergs in return, and will maybe be encouraging their students to use the ergs as well. So that's something we're pretty excited about. The first practice there is tomorrow night. Next thing is this spring is going to be our 20th anniversary. We were founded in 2006, first on the water, 2006. So we're planning a bunch of events in the spring, including, of course, the opportunity for anybody who wants to go out in our new launch. We're just at the beginning of the planning stages, but we will keep you posted, and you will all be invited to any events that might interest you. And the fourth thing, to follow up on what Julie said, we are working on getting out a lot of public comment from rowers in response to the July 4th proposals from the Coast Guard. This is a notice of proposed rulemaking, which suggests, among many other things, no human-powered boats anywhere in the New York area for 9 days, which from our perspective is crazy, especially because for us, none of the boats actually participating in the July 4th events, of which there will be hundreds, none of them is ever supposed to be on the Harlem River. So we are getting our people to all submit comments on that. And that's it for us. And Alexis, you'll be happy to know I wrote my bullet points in an email to you, and I'm speaking from the email, so I will send it to you momentarily. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you. Next, I'm going to call on Catherine Hughes, Executive Director from the Morris Jamel Mention. Catherine?
Good evening.
Catherine, oh, there you are.
I am right here. I don't know why I'm not on camera, but I guess I'm not. So
it could be, I'm sorry, it could be the way that you joined, perhaps. I don't, or.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm cool with whatever.
Okay.
So first off, I wanted to just say I'm so sorry for your loss, Luana. I didn't know, and I'm really sorry for that. That is hard. And I want to start off by telling people that we're going to have a groundbreaking um, for our restoration on March 9th. People will, in our neighborhood, will be getting invitations. It'll be you, Luana, will get an invitation. And if somebody is particularly interested in going to that, you can email me. And I can put all this in a note to you, Alexis. As far as other stuff happening, we are interviewing for an artist educator right now to run our CASA program at the Community Health Academy of the Heights. So if anyone is interested in a 10-week residency at it's 2 days, 2 after school hours, and that people can email me at chughes@morrisjamel.org if you are interested, and I can give you more information on that job. We have a virtual parlor chat coming up on Wednesday, February 18th. That is focusing on research that's been done on slavery in New York City. Really interesting stuff. And we have a Saturday, February 28th, a concert that we're doing with Trinity Cemetery. It's in their chapel. It's a free concert with a company called Wildline, and the concert is called Still Here, celebrating Black History Month. And then this Saturday, we have our family day. We have Victorian Valentine's on Saturday, as well as one of our walking tours. All of this information is on our website, and I will share all that info with Alexis so she has it too. Thank you.
Right on time, Catherine. I will be very happy to join you in the groundbreaking because we've been through, it's been quite a process to get the mansion up and going, and I will happily participate. I hope the rest of my committee members can join you, and thank you. The next person I'm going to call on is Marty Collins, NOMA. Marty, are you there? I'm sorry, I had to unmute you.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Very good.
Yep.
Good evening, Luana, members of the committee, and all in attendance this evening. Martin Collins, Uptown Art Stroll Coordinator at the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. A couple of updates for you. NOMA Labs will continue this spring with a printmaking workshop by Isabella Abreu on Wednesday, March 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. at NOMA's Gallery here at 4140 Broadway and West 176th Street. Join us that evening by simply RSVPing on our website, nomanyc.org. For this and the following events, the 24th Uptown Art Stroll Poster Contest is open through March 15th. Artists must reside or work in West Harlem, Washington Heights, or Inwood from West 125th to West 220th Street. The grand prize, first place winner, is the emblem for the Art Stroll and the front cover of the 5,000 guides and all collateral for the stroll at a $2,000 honorarium. Second prize, $1,000. Third prize, $500. Info and entry form is on our website. The 17th annual Women in the Heights exhibition, curated by Andrea Arroyo, will open on Wednesday, February 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. here at NOMA's Gallery. See works by 42 Northern Manhattan artists. It's free with the RSVP. We invite you to join us at the Artist Talk for Women in the Heights on Thursday, March 5th from 6 to 8 p.m., also here at NOMA's Gallery. And finally, we have 4 studios on site here at NOMA on 176th and Broadway, all priced with artists and arts organizations in mind. They range from 600 to 1,100 square feet. You can email studios@nomanyc.org for full details on NOMA's 4 studios. That's my report. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Marty. Alexis, in the Q&A, people have been very kind in reposting the programming updates if you wish to cut and paste in real time. I'm just
No, I'd prefer they send it to me
seeing. Thank you
because
for
it's,
that. Thank you for all of your courtesy. Okay, all right.
I
Just in
prefer
case.
you just
Okay,
send it to
thank
me
you.
because that's too much.
Next, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Next, it's Cayo Miranda Carneiro from the New York Restoration Project. Sorry. Oh, right. I have to unmute people. My apologies. Let me just. Okay, I'm coming to you, Cayo. Hold on. Okay,
Okay.
there you go.
Good evening, Luana. Good evening, everyone. I just would like to share our new programming is starting in May this year. We're going to have 5 volunteer programming in Highbridge Park and Sherman Creek Park on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And we're going to relaunch the Sherman Creek Stewards, which is an opportunity for anyone to do stewardship and volunteering in the shoreline and help us to take care of the marsh and the wetlands. So it's going to be amazing. And these are the news. We have now 5 volunteering opportunities in Sherman Creek and Highbridge per month. And we hope we can have the participation of the community with us.
Thank you, Cayo. Next, although they are presenting on a project, we still want to give them the opportunity to do programming updates. Friends of Inwood Hill Park.
Hi, everyone.
You
Good
are a
evening.
panelist already, so you can speak.
Okay,
Hi,
great.
Kaya.
Thank you. Hi. Let's see. Yes, we've also been a little bit quiet in the winter month, but we are getting everything. We're hibernating and now we're about to burst out for spring. So our first stewardship event for the spring season is going to be Sunday, March 1st. It will be at our usual kicking off location at Seaman and Isham Park. That has gone out in our newsletter. We're going to have some public facing infographics on our Facebook and Instagram as well. I just have to finish making them. And we're revamping our website, and we're really excited for this year as it is the 100th anniversary of the establishment of Inwood Hill Park as part of the New York City Park System. So it's really cool to think about that legacy and also how that kind of works in the larger part with the Lenape history of the space. So we're excited to do lots of programming related to this and hopefully present here into the community as well. We're saving our date for Earth Day. We've got our first March shoreline cleanup, as Julie mentioned, with Inwood Canoe Club. That's going to be March 8th, I believe. It starts at 10:30. This is all in our newsletter, which I encourage you to sign up for. I write it. And everyone is invited. We look forward to seeing everyone there. One of my condolences to you and your family. I hope you're doing well. And I think that's it. I will speak more when Naya presents. So thank you. I think that's my time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Kaya. Everybody's been like under the 2 minutes. That's fantastic. Is there anybody of the attendees that have Carlos, did you want to do programming update on behalf of Parks?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
I
great.
think
Before you proceed,
Chris is also around as well.
yeah, I saw that. I saw that in the chat. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool.
So if there anybody on the attendees list that is who is representing an organization, kindly let me know in the chat and I will unmute you. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Carlos.
Okay, cool. So I first off would like to start by saying that the Manhattan Recreation Open House will be next week from the 15th to the 21st. So there'll be free entry for all who would like to come and visit our rec centers and take a peek. You can visit Highbridge or J. Hood Wright that are uptown, but obviously all 11 of Manhattan's recreation centers will be open to the public. And so following that, we had several events in Inwood this past weekend. But kind of jumping ahead to the future, in Inwood Hill Park, there's a Meet the Critters event that's happening the 14th at 1 p.m. at the Nature Center in Inwood Hill Park. You should enter around the level of 218, and The Rangers, the Urban Park Rangers, will be introducing folks to some of the small critters, animals that they have on display at the nature center, as well as what else can be found in the park. Um, Later that week, on the 18th, there's a Senior Citizen Community Day at 1 p.m. in Inwood Hill, also at the Nature Center. And they will be having this is their month's Senior Citizen Community Day, where they'll be doing some wreath making, and the programming will be happening inside the rec center. So that'll be a nice, fun event. And to kind of look a little bit further ahead, on the 21st at J. Hood Wright Rec Center, there will be a Latin silent disco. So join NYC Parks for a themed silent disco party. Bring your dance moves and rock out with family and friends to some classic Latin jams from salsa, bachata, and merengue. All ages are welcome at this family-friendly event. And again, that's the 21st at 12 p.m. And then I think lastly, I want to mention another event at Inwood at the Nature Center. They're having a Ranger Tot Time. So the Rangers will have an afternoon of kid-friendly activities and exploring the Nature Center for our younger, much younger demographic. But yeah, that's all I have for today.
Aaron, you're up next.
Luana? Thank you. Oh. Hi, I'm Aaron Sims. I'm the founder of Inwood Artworks. Just to update the community, we have lots of programming happening every week, year round, starting with our podcast, Inwood Artworks On Air, which you can watch on our YouTube channel or download via our website. We can subscribe to it, featuring local artists from the Northern Manhattan area and Northwest Bronx. It's the only podcast that puts a spotlight on uptown artists. Also, we have our concert series starting this week, this month, February 22nd. We're doing a Lunar New Year concert celebrating the Year of the Horse with Interwoven on February 22nd at Good Shepherd Auditorium. And then on March 22nd, we are doing a string orchestra New York concert about women composers called Shatterings. We would invite you all to come out. It's pay what you can. It's just donations, $25 for adults, $10 for kids. That's for the whole community. And we have lots more coming up in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My apologies. My Wi-Fi is spotty, so my apologies for that. Thank you for continuing. Is there anybody else that would like to report on programming, on community programming? Please indicate so in the chat. And also I would like to open, and do we have any questions for any of the organizations? My apologies for not asking if anybody had questions during the reports. No questions? Okay, I don't see anybody with their hand raised. Was there a clarification about the silent disco? Was it with the headphones? Is that what it was? Did Carlos clarify? Because that
Yes.
seems to be the trend.
Yeah, it'll be a
Sorry,
silent
Carlos.
disco.
Yeah, it is
I
with the
believe.
headphones.
Yeah. Yes.
So
it'll
I'm
be a silent
assuming that people have to bring their own headphones.
I think they should have headsets on hand for these events. I mean, obviously, if you're not interested in sharing, then definitely bring your own.
Okay. All right. But a lot of those things they do have their own headphones, because there's a sort of like, I don't know if it's a Bluetooth capability where everybody needs to be listening to the same
Yeah,
song
and
at
the
the same
color
time.
coordination and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, then, since I don't see anybody indicating that they want to do updates from the attendees, then what I'll do is hand it over to Parks for updates, capital improvements and such. Oh, Alexis, I'm sorry, I did not see your hand because, thank you, Alexis.
That's right. I
Yep,
just want to
go ahead.
remind everybody, please do not interrupt the chair when she is in the middle. If you have something to say, please raise your hand and you will be called upon. Okay? Do not just chime in, okay? We have to keep decorum. Luana, you were lucky you missed last month in terms of decorum. So just giving that reminder.
Thank you. Daryl, I see your hand. And if I don't call on you, just as a kind reminder, is because maybe I should just change my capabilities to see everybody or all of the panelists. Because when you have that ribbon, I only get like maybe 5 people. So I may miss you. So, but I do see you, Daryl, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Alexis' comment, I think there's a lot of lag and overlap. It's not intentional today. The computer, you know, retrograde, whatever retrograde is, it's not good today. So
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of overlap, but it's not intentional.
Thank you. And this is why I will forever be a proponent of in-person meetings. I am Zoomed out. I'm webinared out. I understand that there's a capability, but the hybrid model works for me. I will always show up in person if there is an opportunity to do such. Thank you, Daryl. And of course, I get kicked off. I'm the turn I get my Wi-Fi. Okay, I don't want to prolong the meeting, so I'm going to open it up to Parks for reports, capital improvements, and such. Go ahead. Chris, I think you're on also. Oh, Lord. Lordy, Lordy. Okay. Are you on, Chris? If you can just shoot me a chat in the chat or a Q&A. Carlos, you did say he was on, but I don't see him. I believe that he is joining with another link. Is that so? Carlos, can you clarify?
Yeah. Yes, he's supposed to be on. Yeah, he can't add to the chat or anything like that, so he can't really communicate at the moment.
Is he
I'm not sure
an
if he's
attendee? Is that what it is? And I have to promote him? Oh,
I
he's
think
a note
so,
taker.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. I was like, who
I
is this?
think that might be him.
Fireflies
I'm
note
not sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's promote him to panelist. All right. Thank you, because I didn't know. All right. Chris, you have to accept being promoted to panelist if you want to speak. I'm trying. Okay, ask to unmute. My apologies for all of this fiasco. I am trying to, he is unmuted right now, and I'm trying to promote him to panelist, but he
He's
has
saying,
to accept.
he's texting me on the side, and he's saying that he's not getting any like input to like speak or anything like that.
All
Like
right.
it's not.
We'll keep trying. Well, right now he's not muted. He is unmuted. Yeah, go ahead, Alexis.
On my end,
I see you.
when
Go ahead, Alexis.
on my end, I don't see him even as a attendee. His name, I don't see his name even as attendee.
He's under Fireflies AI.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
just a
Alexis.
note. I thought
He's
that's
under
that just means note taker, I thought. Because I have that, but that doesn't it always, when I do that, it shows my Fireflies and it shows me.
I think he's in as an attendee under my name.
Right. And I'm trying to promote him to panelist, but he keeps declining it. He needs to accept.
maybe if you put me as an attendee and then promote his account,
Are
maybe
you
it will allow.
sharing the same,
Yeah,
are-
I think he didn't know that it was going to be virtual, and so he's using my link because he didn't register in advance.
Oh,
right, so let's
maybe
see. So I'm
Carlos
gonna
has
move
to,
you.
yeah, oh. Okay.
All right, hold on. All right. Okay, let's see now. Okay. Now, the thing is that I don't see two separate, okay, so I see Fireflies AI, and then I see Carlos Acosta.
Do
And
you
I'm
see
trying to
two?
promote Fireflies AI. Yeah, go ahead, Alexis.
I see two Carlos Acosta on the attendees.
Yes. So the one that says Fireflies AI,
That's just a
I
note
can show you
taker.
I can share my screen.
Yeah, no, I see that.
They
That's
keep
just a note
saying-
taker.
So what to do?
I'll send, Chris, I'm gonna email you the link.
All right. In the meantime, can we have then the next item on the agenda would be Friends of Inwood Hill Park. Yes, Alexis?
Yes, sirree, Bob.
All right. Carlos said he's going to leave the meeting.
Okay.
So let's see.
So hopefully this won't be asking too much. Would you be able to promote Naya Lee Chang? She's in the attendees to panelists, so she can, or just Naya Chang. So I wanted to give some context. This can be part of our official 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay. So as most people I think know, there has been some really interesting art installations that have been installed in Inwood Hill Park over the last, I would say, year and a half. One of the most exciting ones, in my personal opinion, was the pair of sculptures installed by Rose B. Simpson in partnership with the Madison Square Garden Conservancy, which did a lot of work and brought up a lot of conversations and signage and education and interest in the Lenapehoking, as in Lenape homeland nature of Inwood Hill Park, the colonization of the space and the land, the forcible displacement, and this history that we're reckoning with, not just as a community, but also as a nonprofit and a Friends of group, and what that means for us to be involved in this community. So we got a lot of great feedback for it. We're really excited to do more public art, but we do want it to come from Inwood, and we do want it to come from local artists and be supported by not just us as a group, but this community and the bodies that are responsible for it and represent it. So I think Naya is great, I have to say, but I do think she's great. She's a young sculptor. She's getting started. We did have a little back and forth. We have not gone to the Public Art Commission yet, but we wanted to sort of present this design, get people aware of what we were thinking, what we were talking, and also there's other public art projects that Friends of Inwood Hill Park is interested in promoting and supporting. And so we do want to keep that conversation and keep that engagement with people and the idea of art in the park as something that we've always promoted, especially with our bigger events like our Earth Day Festival for the last 11, it's going to be 11 years this year. So I will let Naya take it away. If you have questions about how FIP can be involved, how you can be involved for Naya specifically, if you have suggestions for where we can get some money from, all of these are much appreciated. So Naya, if you're ready to go, I will turn it over.
Great. I'm going to share my screen. Hope this works. And then I'm going to go into slideshow mode. All right, can everyone see this? Hope so.
Yes.
Amazing. Great. So it's great to meet all of you guys. I'm excited to give a quick overview of what I'm hoping to do in Inwood Hill Park. I'm currently located in Hell's Kitchen and I'll be in Brooklyn shortly. So I'm not a local, but I've been spending time in Inwood Hill Park and talking with Kaya. And I'm really grateful that there's interest and I'm looking forward to getting to know the community better. All right, so I'm going to just say a little bit about my background. I'm an emerging public artist. My practice generally remixes the built environment with site-specific sculptures that visually riff on existing architecture or infrastructure and conceptually uncover stories from a place's real or imagined past. I like to ground my work in historical scholarship, but still try to make work that intrigues people regardless of how busy they are. Just is something that grabs them and makes them consider the space that they're in more. I'm currently a More Art Engaging Artist Fellow, which is the fellowship where I started developing an idea to do something in Inwood Hill Park. And I'm also an Art Students League Works in Public Fellow, which is a fellowship where I am actually also going to be working with parks to do a sculpture in Riverside Park South. Briefly, just wanted to show some of my past work. This is architectural intervention in Providence, Rhode Island. This was a monument intervention I did while I was a student. This was kind of a street art civic project where I wanted to reference the history of the Narragansett people in Rhode Island. And this was another architectural intervention at a historic house. So for this project, I'm just going to read this briefly. We are familiar with the Shirakapak Rock, enclosed in its gravel circle, saddled with its plaque. We know the stories it tells about the sale of Manhattan and the old tulip tree. As monuments tend to be, our rock is both persistently overlooked and inordinately influential. It is a lonely sentinel in a manufactured clearing, perpetuating myths about the land that it's on. And this is the site. So as you probably are mostly familiar with, this is the site that I'm interested in working on. It's, you know, kind of this mythologized spot that this is also where the Rose B. Simpson work was. And I'm interested in kind of subverting some of the narratives that have been told about this area. Briefly, my concept right now is to create a public sculpture that, as I said, interrupts the memorial narrative of the rock. I'm proposing a polished mirror set a few inches from the rock that obscures the original plaque, which is the plaque that tells the mythologized story of the sale of Manhattan. And it reads, "What does this place remember?" On the adjacent plot of dirt, I'm proposing to build up a form with concrete and excavate it, so to speak, so that the negative space is a mold of the rock. And inside the hole, I'm proposing to read, "What do we miss?" So the sculpture emerges from some research I've done on the glacial history of Inwood, as well as the history of and preservation of the tulip tree until it did ultimately fall. I want to be able to obscure the plaque, but allow visitors to still read it, and in general, kind of prompt viewers to question what they're seeing. All right, here's just a very quick concept sketch of what I'm thinking about right now. And I will make these materials available to you later. Here's some reference images that I found. This is the old tulip tree that was there. You can see it was mended unsuccessfully with concrete, which is kind of an interesting piece of tree history. Here's a picture of the rock when the plaque was actually removed by vandals in the 70s. All right, I want to talk briefly just about process and next steps. We are, you know, the point of this presentation is kind of just to make you guys aware of what we're interested in. Not, you know, for any official approvals or anything, but right now I am in conversation with Kaya and Friends of Inwood Hill Park about this project. I'm really grateful that they're interested. I mentioned that this proposal was conceived as part of a fellowship, which provides mentorship and support to do a project like this. I'm super and totally open to adapting and modifying the design in any way. I know a little bit about working with parks, and I know things like safety and vandalism and trash are all considerations. So this, you know, inverted rock component is not something I'm married to at all. I'm more interested in the conceptual idea of challenging the memorial and the narrative around the rock. I think it would be great to install the sculpture sometime in 2026 to align with, as Kaya mentioned, Inwood Hill Park's centennial. But again, if that's too short of a time period, as we discover, this date can totally be pushed. I think my last slide is just about the perspective timeline. So I started working on this a little while ago, but then from December through February, I've been doing some more research on Inwood Hill Park. I've been to the NYC Municipal Archives in Industry City a couple times. I haven't found anything amazing yet, but I want to keep going just to familiarize myself with that history. Like I said, I've been up to Inwood Hill Park a number of times, but I want to keep engaging with the community through Friends of Inwood Hill Park and stewardship activities and other ways. And then I'm working on finalizing the works form and concept, again, willing to be subject to change. Going forward, I'm looking into funding opportunities. I am waiting to hear back from LMCC grants, which I think should come out in March. And I will be working on a proposal to present to NYC Parks, since they will have to improve anything that gets done. Loose dates, if we were to install this year, perhaps fabrication through the summer and then installation in the fall. And this could be up for, I would say, around 4 months to up to a year, which is how long Parks allows things to stay up. And I'd want to do different programming events during the installation. All right, so that's all I have. This is my contact information and website. Again, I can circulate these materials after the meeting as well. But thank you so much for your time. And yeah, really open to any feedback. And this is, yeah, an ongoing conversation that I'm excited to start. Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, before we get to other questions, any community board members that may have any questions? Thank you for that presentation. Alexis?
Yes, so I just want to be clear, because this issue came up when Korean Public Art Forum wanted to present, right? And we did not allow that until after he got approval from Public Art Forum. So just so you know, once from the public art, once you do that, you'll come back and make another presentation, and then we can pass a resolution of support.
That will be for the resolution once we have that from the commission. Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, you have to get that approval from Parks Public Art Department.
Yep. Totally fine. Yeah, this wasn't so much for the resolution, just to put it on the table, but yeah, we will do that if and hopefully when, fingers crossed, the support comes through. But I appreciate that being very clear.
Daryl?
Yeah, hi, thank you. Thanks for your presentation. I'm sorry, I was having a bit of a hard time kind of conceptualizing everything, but I just want to make sure the way you'd go about this, it's not going to block any of the sidewalk access, right? Because there's like, that's at the intersection of like 3 different sidewalks kind of come together.
Yeah, it would just be on those like plots of dirt that are not in the sidewalk.
The grass area in the same place roughly where the Roseby Simpson sculpture was.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daryl. Did you have another question, or because you still have your hand up? Okay, great. Joy, you had a question?
I have it's just a question for Naya. Are you connected with a group called Art Lives Here that's coordinated by a woman named Connie Lee? And I asked that because Connie has been involved with public art initiatives and getting people permission and working on logistics of getting art projects done in New York City parks. So if you're not in touch with her, I want to give you suggest you get in touch with her.
Yeah, I will. I've heard of her, but I have not personally been in touch with her.
I can put the link to the Art Lives Here website, which mentions her. I might have her email address somewhere, but I'm sure you can reach her through the website too. I'll put that in the Q&A because I think that's what works. And you can.
Oh, that was the timer. Any other questions? If you can just raise your hand, because I'm managing 3 different screens. Okay, if nobody has, let me see the Q&A here. If nobody has any other questions, thank you, Joy. If nobody has any other questions, then I would like to revert back to Park so that they can do their 10-minute updates. So, all right, so let's see.
Thank you.
Chris, are you on?
I'm on. You can hear me okay? All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank
Yes.
you guys. Thanks for your patience and my apologies for the technical difficulties. Thank you, Alexis and Luana, for getting me on here. And Carlos, who I think may be logged off at this point. All right. So, as you guys all know, the last couple weeks we've been very preoccupied with recovery from the snowstorm. This was, again, as you know, an extremely challenging storm, not just because of the volume, but really because of the sustained cold temperatures. And we had some equipment breakdowns just from going, a week or two straight. The last similar storm that the city has received in this kind of same vein was about 15 years ago. This is like with discussions with sanitation and DOT and our own crews. So it's about how long we dealt with something on a similar scale and extended timeline. So our first week, just so everybody understands kind of how we approach this, our focus the first week was on park perimeter sidewalks, opening up bus stops, fire hydrants, and crosswalks. Then that week, we were also detailed to assist sanitation with clearing similar areas throughout Washington Heights and Inwoods, beyond just parks properties. So we were, kind of pulled out into the neighborhood along Fort Washington, on St. Nicholas, along Broadway, which, it's what was needed. So that's kind of where we were at. Then the second week focus, we returned primarily to interior park pathways and greenways, opening up, back down towards our connection with District 14 with Riverside, who kind of helped, coming up the greenway in Fort Washington. And just, I would say most of our pathways in the parks are open at this point, have been plowed and salted. There are some exceptions, natural paths. Most of our staircases, I would like to say 100%, but I cannot confirm that. If there are any outstanding issues, if any of you have any outstanding issues, please 311 it. It comes to us almost immediately, and then we can deploy and mobilize our staff to get it. The one exception to all of this are playgrounds, especially where there are safety surface. We have a lot of requests about this. It's very difficult for us to clear playgrounds. Part of that is because we cannot use salt on the safety surface, and we cannot use like ice choppers. So once things thaw out, maybe later this week, certainly like our JOP, our jointly operated property, which is Audubon Playground, there we can make some headway. That'll be the focus. But again, if there are any issues, please 311 it, and it'll come to us, and we'll do our best to address it. Just capital project update. There's a lot of stuff going on. So Lily Brown, we are nearing completion of the playground reconstruction. We're at about 92% time, about almost 85% of the work is completed. And we have our next inspection is just in 3 weeks. So we are slated to open in early March. Now, all of our projects have been delayed the last couple of weeks because of the snow. So we'll see if we make that early March opening, but I think we're pretty close. Contractor's doing great. Inwood ball fields, similar. We lost some time, but we got some nice weather windows. Sod has to be laid, and the sod needs a couple weeks to what we call like knit, which is essentially the roots of the sod need to kind of knit down into the earth, and that takes a couple weeks. But we believe that we'll be open in time for opening day for Inwood Little League, which is April 11th. So we're doing, we're really close with that one as well. Billings Lawn restoration. The lawn is for the most part done. We still have some utility repair work on the north side of the lawn, but we anticipate opening that lawn on May 1st, and that includes for permitted activities. Kiskaya restrooms, long delays, over a year long delay on this. We have our next inspection at the end of March. So if all goes well, we will be able to open those restrooms up in April of this year. I know this was a hot topic of conversation last month, the Isham Park and Inwood Park retaining walls reconstruction. There are 3 walls that are being reconstructed, all under one contract, along with another 5 other walls in, I believe, in the Bronx and other parts of the city. It's like a multi-wall contract. So the contractor tends to work on 1 or 2 sites at a time. This is why there are some lags in construction. At Isham Park, I know the contractor was very active between the end of last meeting and the beginning of the snowstorm. And I know that they've been working on that site again, I think maybe not last week, but this week. Inwood, they're back up in there again. And both of these projects should be wrapped up by April, I think by April. Then we have one more wall in Isham Park that's part of the same contract. This is in the alleyway that runs between Park Terrace West and Broadway on the south end of Isham Park. And there's a bulging wall that part of that wall has to be reconstructed. So that won't start until these other 2 walls in Inwood and Isham are done. The 186th Street basketball court, we're about not quite halfway done time-wise. And again, a couple delays, so we're only about 30% complete, but the contractor should be catching up. We've dealt with a bunch of retaining wall issues and kind of that's moving along. J. Hood Wright, another retaining wall, and the ADA ramp construction at the end of Pinehurst, I think. So that has about 25% of the time has elapsed, right, for a 1-year contract, but only about 10% of the work completed. Again, sort of weather-related delays. So our slated completion for that is November of 2026. The 181st Street Pinehurst steps. So this is, on the other side of the GWB. This is the stairs that go up between 181st Street and kind of up towards Bennett Park. There are gardens on either side of the steps, and those gardens are being reconstructed. This project was delayed for some time because the buildings on either side were doing construction and had scaffolding up, so we could not work on the gardens. That project has kicked off, and the contractor should be starting work in the next couple weeks. The J. Hood Wright Dog Run reconstruction, this is in design currently. And we have a community meeting. I'm not sure if Carlos mentioned this or not earlier, but we do have an open community meeting next Tuesday, February 17th. Is a virtual meeting from 6:30 to 8 p.m. If you are interested in participating, you can go to nyc.gov/parks/input, and you should see that meeting pop up for the J. Hood Wright Dog Run. Morris Jumel, Catherine, I'm sure has shared quite a bit about the construction there. So I'll move on. Oh, this is another retaining wall contract in Fort Tryon. We are close to commencing construction in May 26th. There are 3 walls to be repaired. One on Cloistered Lawn, where I think it's like, I don't know, maybe almost 5 years ago now, a drunk driver drove into the park and crashed through the wall, right up above the highway entrance. So that one will finally be repaired. And then there are 2 retaining walls lower down in the park where massive mature oak trees fell just on their own and pulled out part of the retaining walls and pathways. So all 3 of those will be worked on starting this May. Now, we have 4 projects in design, aside from that J. Hood Wright Dog Run, 4 other projects. McKenna Square, you've heard about this before. This is a community parks initiative, and we are still planning to start a community input process sometime in spring of 2026. We hope to have more information by next month and give a date. Inwood Ball Field, the lighting, right, that is still in design. And once the design phase is done or close to done, they will present to CB12. Amelia Gorman, we're not quite in design with this, but we do continue to work with Councilmember De La Rosa's office on funding, and our capital team is working on logistical challenges of accessing that site. And then lastly, and this I think is kind of exciting because it's 2 projects in one, but basically it's the wooden Amtrak bridge replacement and the path detour that will allow for, detour through Fort Washington Park during the construction process for that bridge. So this is the Amtrak bridge that comes up from Little Red Lighthouse, just north of the GWB, and connects up to the Upper Greenway towards 181st Street. So these are 2 separate design processes. The Amtrak bridge is an 18-month design process, and the detour is about a 1-year design process. The detour has to be constructed before the bridge can be replaced. But those are both slated to start this month, the design process. So once there's more to share on those, we'll come back to the CB. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Just in time. Let's see. Does the board, members of the board committee, do you have any questions before I turn it to the public? Please raise your hand. Jody, Daryl, and Alexis.
Yeah, hi, Chris, it's Jody. I just wanted to again thank New York City Parks for their snow removal, and something that I didn't know, and I just want to reinforce to everybody that not only does Parks in a storm like this take care of their 35 parks, but they are allocated to DSNY, and they are out shoveling the roads and the intersections and all of that. And it is a huge, huge job with very little recognition. And so I just want to, again, support it and say thank you to New York City Parks.
Thank you, Jody. It's much appreciated.
Thank you, Jody. Daryl, and then Alexis.
Yeah, I had 2 questions or a comment, and one is related to what Jody was saying. Was I was just kind of wondering what the policy was regarding like salting, because I know for businesses and stuff, they don't have to salt until after the snow actually stops, and the snow is, I think, ongoing for at least 12 hours, maybe more. I did notice maybe some problem areas outside Bennett Park along Fort Washington and 185th. That may have taken a while. But it didn't seem like there was salt there. So that was just one comment. And the other, what was it related to? It'll come to me, sorry.
It's all right. So in regards to salt, so there are some storms that we try to pre-salt properties. We're not always able to pre-salt all of them. In this particular storm, pre-salting was kind of useless just because of the cold temps. And so anything that might have melted then froze, essentially underneath this, refroze underneath the snow. So we did our best. There were some areas, including parts of the perimeter of Bennett. And once people are out there and start, walking on a path, it becomes much, much, much harder for us to address. So the reality is just, with the volume of properties, sometimes it took a couple days before we even got to salt it. And then we needed some temperatures where the salt could do its work and we could sort of chop it up and carve a path out. So, there were some properties definitely took a little longer for us to get to than others.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and you're right. That is like, especially on Fort Washington, is very high traffic almost instantly, even with bad weather. And I did remember my other question. It was about the J. Hood Wright Park run, dog run. One thing this committee has been pushing for years now is ADA access to that overlook just next to the dog run. Is that something that could be included with this project, or is it just too separate?
So it is something that we have discussed. It's on our list of capital projects, but I think it would take the entire budget of what we have for the dog run to create an ADA ramp and then some. So just because of access to that site. So it's on our list, but unfortunately, no, it cannot be wrapped into this project.
Thank you.
Okay, I have put a Q in the chat. Alexis, after you, I would like to also address some questions in the Q&A. So after you, I will speak on behalf of Tessa Carter. So go ahead, Alexis.
So just wanted to know, because we did promise this, are there, and again, second month, we didn't have anybody from Dykeman Marina, from the Marina division show up. to give updates. Can you speak to that at all, dear?
So, I mean, from what I understand, the marina will close this summer as scheduled. It is not currently planned to be a phased project, as I know was requested, just I think as has been reiterated because of the additional time and expense that would add to the project. That's all I know. I mean, as we get closer, or if there's a request from Marina's division to come back and make a presentation in advance, I mean, we can certainly ask them to join us again.
Yeah, it was just that, that was something we did say in good faith that we would. So if maybe like you can even just get like if you can just check with them each month and get at least a little blurb from them or something about the progress, so you could include it in their report. So this way we're all keeping up our end of the bargain.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't really think that between now and June there will be any substantial changes. It's essentially, it's in the tail end of the procurement process. So they're just like dotting their I's and crossing their T's, and you're trying to nail down the contract with the contractor, and then project has to get registered. And so they're like in the last 4 months of procurement. But I will talk to the Marinas division, and we'll do our best to bring any kind of updates to that process to the table.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before I move to Kaya and then an attendee by the name of Jean, we have I think you partly answered this with regards to the marina reconstruction project. Is the project on time? This is Tessa Carter. And I believe you clarified a bit about the procurement, but there's also a concern that the capital project tracker, that this doesn't appear in the capital project tracker. And if you can speak to that, Chris.
I will talk to our Marinas division and see if we can get that updated in the capital project tracker. It should be up to date.
And then it's still in procurement, yes?
Correct.
Thank you. And then the second question from Tessa Carter is, will the 181st Pinehurst stairs be closed during the garden reconstruction?
No, the contractor is planning to only close one side of the stairs at a time. So there are times where they'll be moving materials across the stairs or anything like that, but they are planning to stage down below along 181st Street on either side of the garden. So the sidewalk will be somewhat narrowed close to the fence, but still plenty of room to get past. And then one side, they'll alternate sides of the stairs to close. So the stairs will remain open through the 1-year duration of the project.
Thank you. I will go back to the queue. Next is Kaya.
Hi, can you hear me?
And then after Kaya. Yeah.
Okay.
Jean, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. Jarek. You'll be next. Go ahead, Kaya.
Thank you. Hi, Chris. Just a question. Those Inwood ball fields, is that no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that again. There's a lot of programming. Carlos gave us a lot of programming updates about the Inwood Nature Center. We're doing community meetings there. There's a lot of good stuff going on. And I know that 2026 was supposed to be the year that they were getting a big overhaul with their exhibits, and they were going to do more programming. I was wondering, do you have any updates on that? And are they going to potentially close while those are being installed? Like, will there be any interruption of programming there? Thank you.
That's a good question. I have a call with the design team and the Rangers, I think next week. So next month, I'll have a little better sense of what the process is like for that. I don't believe that the Nature Center is likely going to close much, if at all. And part of the reason why is because all of the exhibits are being designed to, with the exception of what's mounted on the walls, all of the exhibits are being designed to roll in and roll out. So in the event of an anticipated flood, they can essentially roll all the exhibits up and out and make sure that they don't get damaged. So, but we'll know a little bit more next month, and we'll bring an update back to the board.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next on the queue is Jean. Let me just make sure. Okay, there you go. Jean, you got the mic. I'm asking, okay, there you go. Can you, yes, Jean, you can speak. Jean, are you there? All right. Can you, okay. So I'm going to ask you to unmute because you have your hand up. Now you are unmuted. Ask your question. Okay, we'll come back to you. You can also type it in the Q&A. Anybody else has another question? Okay, last call, Jean, to ask your question. All right, I'm asking to unmute, going once, going twice. All right, you can always ask your question in the Q&A and I will read it live. All right. Any other questions, committee? Please raise
There's
your
a question
hand.
in the Q&A.
Oh, let's see. Hold on. I have some questions in the Q&A. Okay, so Adam Fran is asking, regarding the Amtrak bridge closure, is there a rough estimate for the closure date, and will there be any public scoping? Thank you.
There will be public scoping. It will be further along in the design process. So again, for both the bridge and the detour, the design process is just getting started. So we will have, there will be some presentations and opportunity for input in the future. I just don't have any dates for that yet. Now, let's start with the detour, because the detour is going to happen first. So the detour essentially is reconstructing the pathway that starts in Fort Washington, the section of Fort Washington that's managed by Riverside, by the Fort Washington tennis courts. And it is essentially up over the Amtrak bridge, up those stairs. And the intention is to, it's not ideal, but the intention is to add essentially like bicycle ramps on those stairs, just to be able to roll your bike up, not ride it, but just roll it up, much like the ramp the Amtrak bridge in Dyckman Fields in Inwood Hill Park has. So similar to that. And then once at the top of the bridge and across, then the pathway from there will be reconstructed all the way up to the George Washington Bridge abutment, and then we'll connect with the existing Upper Greenway. So that design process is 1 year. Now, because this involves city DOT, state DOT, and Amtrak, then there's about a 3 to 6 month permitting process on top of the procurement process. So this is a more complex project. And so let's just say we add 6 months to the design process. So now we're in the fall of 2027. So then we have a year of procurement. So now we're into the fall of 2028. If all goes well, construction would start in the fall of 2028. With the Amtrak bridge itself, now we have an open detour. Then construction could start on the bridge. However, that bridge, again, because it's Amtrak and DOT, it just will take a little bit longer. So that is not likely to start until the following year. So likely spring of 2029, that construction. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. really closer to fall of 2029 because it's a year it's going to take a year to construct the detour. And these are just estimates. And then once the design process, once we have like presentations on all of this, then we'll be able to have better estimates with those dates.
And where is that bridge again?
So the Amtrak bridge, the wooden Amtrak bridge, is located, if you are on the Hudson River Greenway coming up through Fort Washington Park, if you're coming from the south, you pass Little Red Lighthouse, you go underneath the George Washington Bridge and up the hill. And then you go underneath the southbound Henry Hudson Parkway. And then there's that, well, before you go underneath the southbound Henry Hudson Parkway, you're crossing the Amtrak tracks on a wooden bridge. And it's that bridge that will be replaced. And it's just an extremely complicated location because it's not easy to get vehicles in and out of there. So it's gone through a couple iterations, and we're happy to report it's finally starting. Whereas the detour is pretty much all to the south of that. So that kind of brings people up to the north side of the George Washington Bridge, between the northbound and the southbound lanes to the upper Greenway.
Hey, thank you. I have a couple of more questions in the Q&A. 2 more, and then I'll go to you, Daryl. Chris, this is from Michael Scholson. Chris, would you be able to speak more about the logistical challenges for access to the Gorman site? Is there any timeline for when the design phase will begin? And also to clarify, I'm only taking questions. I'm not taking comments. Otherwise, I'm trying to keep the meeting under 2 hours, 2 hours or less. So questions only. Chris, did you get that question from Michael Scholson?
I got it, sure. So we do not have a timeline for Amelia Gorman Park design, and the logistical challenges, from what I understand, are accessing, because it is essentially a lower retaining wall. It's a retaining wall kind of in the center of the park. So it's not a site that's easy to bring a vehicle or materials into. And there's a large chunk of the retaining wall that needs to be accessed. So that's part of the equation.
Thank you. And Jean finally was able to ask her question. We need clarification about the Pinehurst project because there's scaffolding up. And it's still in place. So can you speak to that?
Yes, the contractor thinks that they will be able to stage and conduct, at least get started on the project with that scaffolding still in place.
Okay. Daryl, you have your question.
Yeah, just regarding that bridge down by the lighthouse. I think it was a few years ago, you all did something that put basically railroad ties on the side. And it changed it a little bit, but it also made it prone to flooding. Like that area would have like 6 inches of water. Is that going to be fixed?
My guess is yes, because it's, along with the bridge, it's going to be the approaches to the bridge. So that's going to take into consideration how water flows through that property. And so, again, we're just starting the design phase, but in the public, in the public input component to that, definitely bring that up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I don't see any other questions elsewhere. Do we move to, is there a motion, or do we do old business, new business, any updates on the Sally Fisher garden?
Not yet.
Not yet. Thank you, Alexis. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Alexis motions to adjourn, Daryl seconds, and meeting is adjourned at 7:50. Thank you so very much, everybody. and have a
Thank
wonderful
you. Have a good
rest of
night.
your week.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank you.
warm.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Luana and Alexis, if you guys could just send me a confirmation email about,
I did, dear. You didn't see it?
okay.
So I checked that list and he put you back on. So he had you off twice. Like he did, I think this is must be his third reiteration
Okay.
because there was some other issues.
Yeah.
So
But I just wasn't sure
because
that I
saw-
wasn't like losing my mind. I was
No,
like,
no.
I
So
saw a
when he-
list.
Right, when he sent us, like this, as a secretary, when he sent me that list, he had moved you to a different committee. I forget which one it was, right? And then I looked again because there was another person that was put on. Mr. Schulzen and Kaya, you can leave the meeting, it's okay. So there was
Yeah, I'm removing them.
we
Yeah.
changed it a few times. So there was one person who didn't want to be on the committee. And then Danny left. So it got changed a couple of
on.
times. It got changed a few times.
All right, it's
So-
just us.
Yeah, so it got changed a few times. So that was my fault because for not checking it like in the last week or so. But
No worries.
yeah, so
no
when
worries.
as soon as I saw your
just was
email,
like, when I saw, I was like,
as soon as I saw your email, yeah. Yeah, because as soon as I saw your email, I went back to his document and checked it, and you were back on.
cool beans, because
Yeah.
because the worst was I was like, then I was like signed out, and then I was like, do they see that I signed back in, and I think I'm on this? So cool. With Foursquare of the thing, I'm on. I was here for attendance.
Yeah, so you're
My
definitely
camera was
back on.
on.
Did he
Dope,
even-
dope.
did he were you notified you were taken off first?
Yeah, right, because he was like, it was actually something very funny where I wasn't listed on public safety, even though this is why I kind of got a little weirded out tonight, is I was put on public safety in September. And then I got an email when we were doing committee assignments being like, you're only on one committee. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm on parks and public safety. And they're like, we don't have you listed. And I forwarded an email assigning me to public safety. And that's when I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I've been going to public, and you know me, Alexis, I'm kind of a nerd. Anytime that I don't I'm not going to do something, I don't only send it to like the committee chair, I send it to you. I
Right.
sent it to Anthony when he
No,
was
you're very good
secretary.
with that.
Like, I'm like, the whole world is on these emails. Right. So this was the other part that I was like, if I wasn't on that committee, why wasn't everyone telling me a heads up? So that's why tonight, when you were like, you're not on this committee, I was like, the fuck is happening here? Like, am I misreading things? Like, what's happening? So cool. We're cool. I was just like, I'm just confused. I'm on. I did the
Yeah.
thing. Credit, go team.
I
All right,
was absent, so I wasn't able to answer any questions or, and like I said in the email, I'll defer to Anthony because I
Right, totally. And as I said to Anthony when we were discussing the sort of weird public safety thing, I'm like, I understand movements need to happen and you got to go where CB12 needs you. So whatever. But noting that this e-board is a much more fastidious about rules and things, that's a little bit why I'm a little bit more being like, I just want to make sure that I'm properly attending and properly attending.
Oh, okay. So that was it too. Yeah. So Eton was taken out because of his schedule. Right? Danny left, Eton left. There was and then he had taken you out and put somebody else in, but then that person, I guess, didn't want to be on anymore. So he put you back in. But it does say John Francis is on this committee, but he did not show tonight.
Okay.
I mean, I hope he didn't get caught up in a quagmire like I did. But
Yeah,
you
because now I'm
know,
looking at it says effective February 2026.
Okay. So start, okay. Um,
okay. Well, I won't take up any more of your time,
No,
ladies.
no, I'm just
Thank you.
looking. I'm just double checking something for you. Hold on.
and then one more thing, Alexis, I'm looking at my calendar and I'm assuming that executive is on Tuesday because Monday is a holiday. Yes?
Yes, it is.
Got it. Okay.
Now, wait. Now, Tracy, are you on public safety now?
No.
Okay, yeah, because I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it doesn't show you on there now. Yeah.
I was assigned it like September. They were like, we're moving you to public safety.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
okay.
We're still streaming on YouTube, guys.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
all
go.
right then.
Bye.
I got to end this meeting.
Worse things have happened. Bye.